Testing push to talk.
Okay, so it looks like none of my audio has been going through. Wow, it's okay. I was doing a whole opening song. I was singing. I was describing how Windows had broken and talking about why I was never going to buy another Windows desktop again because of this stupid user. And why are all my windows keep disappearing? It seems like if I click on something while resting my hand on the keyboard a certain way, I don't think I'm pressing any buttons. Like maybe one of the buttons on the keyboard is more sensitive than it should be or something. But all my windows keep going away, and it's too much. It's fine. It's fine. We're not here to judge Microsoft today. Good for them, because they would fail. We're here to judge the talented folks who are coming out for our Earth Kingdom build contest. Woo! We are going to put 60 minutes on the clock. Once I find the clock, here it is. Yay! Bum 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 bum. Where's the? How do I set it? Timer, 1 hour and 0 minutes. It looks like Stellar Spider just joined the game. Do we have any representatives here from the Earth Kingdom who are hosting?
Yeah, Bear and I are hosting right now.
Welcome, Fifth Alice. Fifth Alice and
Hello.
Bear of the Earth Kingdom are hosting this. I was gonna say months, but this week's parade float build contest. We are bringing the camera around past some of the previous parade routes to the Earth Kingdom, where we are going to be celebrating Earth Day. I mean, honestly, all of these, all 12 outposts are just absolutely spectacular. 3 month build contest entries done by patrons from our server. They competed for the prize of being able to host a parade float build contest where members from the server would come and spend an hour building parade floats in their outpost. Look at this. It's the Earth Kingdom. Woo! And so here we go. Are our contestants lined up with boxes here? I'm flying really high up. Maybe I can't see them. I think there's somebody down there. There's somebody down there. Okay, ready? Question mark? Let's see. Do we have any confirmation that anyone is ready? Those two people are ready. There's a third person. Okay. Set. Go. We're going to hit start. 59 minutes and 57 seconds remain in our 1 hour build contest. The way that this works is folks have had months to prepare what they would like to build, to plan, to collect materials. This is a survival build contest, not creative though. So the theme was announced well in advance, just kind of like at a real New Orleans parade where folks would build the floats in like garages or warehouses or whatever and then wheel them out the day of. So, in theory, there shouldn't be too much improvisation here, but there always ends up being just enough. I never know what I'm going to see. As you can see, though, this area here was inspired by the Earth Kingdom from Avatar The Last Airbender, which Fifth Alice and Bear did an absolutely spectacular job on. Building this, they had 3 months for the initial construction, and then they've made some improvements since then. But, I mean, almost all of this, if not all of this, was here 3 months into the initial outpost build contest. Absolutely fantastic attention to detail, really capturing the multi-tiered city of Ba Sing Se's kind of economic system where the wealthiest people are up here, and then there's a middle class down here. Let's see, and then where are I think the slums are further down that way. Yeah, just absolutely brilliant. They've got an earthbending arena as well here, a custom tree. You don't get this out of Minecraft with a sapling and a dream and a bone meal. No. No. Just take a second and admire the tree. I said admire the tree. I'm not sure you're doing it. Here's somebody admiring a tree. It's Bear. Good job, Bear. Proud of you. Okay. So let's go down here and see what's going on in the earthbending arena. That's pretty cool. Wait, the red sandstone has withers on it? I guess I just don't use that textured material at all. And this is clever too, so their portal is like in the Uh-oh. Apparently that's gonna immediately teleport me. What? Look at though, this tunnel is also very, very beautiful. Wait, I'm using Bobby Mod in the Nether and it's not killing my frame rate. Maybe that's a Hermitcraft problem, now that I'm thinking about it. Oh boy. This is the smoothest the Nether has been for me in months. Wow, okay, then it just stuttered there, but yeah. Wow. Wow. Anyway, I was gonna say, you know, they've got the part of the arena where the contenders would rest before their bouts. Very, very cool. Earth Kingdom symbols. Giant gates looking pretty sweet. Mahi Zero says it's probably because Tango's Nether Hub has too many objects. Yeah, probably. Probably. We're going to give our Parade Float build contest participants some time to work on their floats. Because early on when they're working on these, it's like you're looking at this and like, oh, I don't know. It's Earth Day, so based on this is probably some sort of wooden starfish. And then you look at this one and you're like, well, that's half of a wolf, an ulf, if you will. And this is an L for leave the environment alone, maybe? I don't know. It's really hard to judge these at this stage. Welcome, Shifty Pumpkin. Glad you could join us. But yeah, it's hard to judge these Parade Float builds at this stage. Do we only have 3 contestants? This is... I know it is a beautiful spring day. It's always easier to get people to these when it's like middle of winter. And it's like, I can't go outside. MPT3K raid! Welcome! Game Club Central. Welcome, Manu. If you're not already following Mystery Pinball Theater 3000, it is the best show on Twitch on Friday nights. And I say that as somebody who does a show on Twitch on Friday nights. Manu and Surreal have done all sorts of custom code work to enable them to build a riff theater, like in Mystery Science Theater 3000, except where the chat actually makes up the riffs and then votes on who's funniest. It's just spectacular work. Just spectacular work, top to bottom. Thank you, Manu, for bringing folks in here. We are in the middle of a 1-hour Parade Float building contest. So we're on my Patreon Minecraft server here. There are 12 different themed outposts that ring this central wilderness over there with that giant angel statue in it. And each outpost gets to host a different holiday-themed build contest for a parade. And so, for example, over here, I think this might have been Mardi Gras. We've got a few floats from there. What's this one? This one was, oh yeah, a bunch of different bears, like a honey bear, which is adorable. We've got Beaker in Mardi Gras style over there. Then when we come around to our Not Kansas outpost, they hosted our Halloween parade. So by the end of the hour, you could expect to see floats like this. Or if we come down lower here. Got a little skeletal horse-drawn carriage. The Mummy. You know, like cool stuff like that. Tractors pulling dragons. Ghost trains. You know, all sorts of fun stuff. But yeah. So each of these 12 outposts will host a different 1-hour parade float build contest. We are doing Earth Day today. We're only about, maybe, how far are we? We're only 8 minutes in. So I don't have much to show from this year's, or not this year's, this holiday's parade yet. So if we go back here, this is the Groundhog Day parade that was hosted by Kindless of Team Redstone. You might remember Kindless. He's occasionally in the Rift Theater or at Chicago Pinball Expo. He built the surrounding town here, and then hosted our Groundhog Day parade, which has all sorts of fun little floats about the change of seasons and a groundhog riding a scooter, groundhog popping out of a log, maybe seeing a shadow, maybe not. Who can say? Over here, we have Amsterdam, which hosted a Van Gogh's birthday parade earlier this year. So we've got all sorts of beautiful floats that are tributes to Vincent van Gogh, including some custom Minecraft map art. These are Minecraft pixel art maps, which somebody built at like 128 by 128 scale. I say somebody, it was Melora, but we've got all sorts of wild stuff here. More flowers. Of course, Vincent van Gogh is famous for painting flowers. Here's a bust of Van Gogh himself. Very parade floaty. I love how this feels like something you'd actually see coming down the street. AMPT3K, have a good lunch with your kids. Just all sorts of fun all through here. Flying around the Patreon server while the folks work on their floats. Dun 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 dun. The Kentucky Derby parade is going to be held here in Team Blackwater's outpost soon. I think that might be, is that our next one? April 30th, yeah. April 30th at 2 p.m. Central. We will be having the Kentucky Derby parade through the Blackwater outpost here, which was inspired by Red Dead Redemption. We actually just had our Yuri's Night World Space Day parade last week over here at Team Shiny's Firefly-inspired outpost. So you can see we got all sorts of cool rockets and whatnot over here. And if you look, you can see that angel that we saw from the Earth Kingdom outpost is right there. Earth Kingdom outpost is just across there in the distance, which means we've got about halfway around the circle here. Okay, June 11th is going to be the Pride Parade, hosted by Team Gamers. We're flying over their area now. And then we had our New Year's Parade over here, which is why there's so many 2023s in Team Radical's area. I gotta say, I do love the grandfather time frog with the tadpole baby New Year. Very Minecraft, very fun. We always have so many incredible entries here. June 17th, our Solstice Parade is going to be hosted by the SCP Outpost, which I don't think we've flown through there yet. Let's see. This is still a work in progress, but really impressive at scale. Like, geez. I gotta fly up way higher just so I can show this. That's a tower. I think this was Team SCP's area here. And they'll be hosting the June 17th Solstice Parade. And then I think, I'm blanking on the precise, it's a Canadian holiday that's going to be hosted over here. Will be our last parade of the year. And that brings us basically full circle to the Earth Kingdom. Woo! Yeah, my chunk loading software only loads cached chunks. So let's fly out here for a minute and load some more background chunks here. So that way we can get some visually impressive shots of the whole area. No, don't unload the chunks. That's the opposite. We're trying to make the chunks load better. Come on. Lighting glitches. Not so fun. Okay. So as we fly in, you see the progress jumping ahead here. Okay, we do have 4. Whoa, look at this. Somebody is making looks like a walking coffee mug maybe or teacup. We'll have to see what that is. Somebody else here has some sort of multi-biome situation, it looks like. Not sure exactly what that is. This looks like an egg cup, so that could be anything. This is the number 60, maybe? I don't know sports, but that might be a famous environmentalist athlete. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. These builds could be anything. You got to keep watching the action if you want to see where they're going with them. Could be anything. Ooh. So as we fly into the distance here, those chunks will unload, and I won't have as like you don't get a live update when you're flying in the distance past things. But I just want to real quick face this way, load in some of these extra chunks here, so we just really make sure we've got the terrain ready to go when we're doing those big wide shots. Caching extra chunks to render things that are far away. That's what we're doing. Hey, hey, hey. Yep, see, if we can still see that from here, then these chunks would be in render distance from over there, right? Joecopter 5 up in the sky, that's right. Oh, I should also mention that, yeah, this is our Patreon server. $5 a month gets you access to our Patreon Discord to have the elusive third chat during the what do you call them? Streams? Yeah. $10 a month gets you access to the Minecraft servers. We've got a couple of fantastic server operators, Yurgi and Toxic Glitter, helping me out, keeping everything running smoothly. We've got a Vanillish server, which Yurgi runs, which is kind of closer to how Hermitcraft works, where you've got like certain mods and data packs, like the statues and all that stuff. The server that I'm responsible for, this one, is a pure vanilla server. No mods, no data packs. It's the Minecraft jar. And you might be like, Joe, you'd have to be crazy to try and run a pure vanilla server. Doesn't that create a lot of problems? Well, you know what? I think it creates problem opportunities. There's a reason we also have like modded servers and the one and the vanillish server that Yurgi runs. But one of the things we ran into was when people try and talk to the Mojang developers about like their experiences running servers. Mojang is like, you're running so many mods, nothing we do, like it wasn't a conversation people could have with them because they basically were. I was like, so now I run one of the most highly populated vanilla servers in the world, even though highly populated is still like not very many because we have to have it you know, capped in order to accommodate the fact that the game wasn't designed to run at this scale very well. But yeah, I bought or leased some really high-end Xeon processors, and it's just like, we'll just dump all this onto the single core. Let's do some processing. Woo! So, yeah. It's like, Joe, how do you run a server without like mods that check for entities and stuff? I don't check for entities. Next problem. That sounds like you're making more work for yourself there, buddy. You know, it's weird because this is technically, I think, the same seed as Hermitcraft, but I don't recognize this terrain at all. I'm just flying around loading chunks. here while our parade float contestants continue to work. The first few minutes of the parade, I like to kind of give them a little space. Oh, somebody's been building something in this. Wait, is this the donut or is no? Is this a second donut? Is there another donut somewhere on Hermitcraft? Or did somebody terraform that themselves? Wait, that is the donut. Wait, really? Yeah, because this is the same seed as Hermitcraft. Wait, if that's the same seed as Hermitcraft, no, that can't be right, because the where the warden is pretty far south of Spawn. Akuinu says, like, on a Xeon, that does not sound the best for single core. You can get a low core count, high performance Xeon. Yeah. The thing is, you really, if you're running something in a data center, you probably don't want to be using consumer grade processors, or you're gonna have more problems. Yeah, they're Xeon 2288s, I think. Let me check that. They're probably due for an upgrade at some point soon, but I haven't seen a new competitive Xeon. Yeah, the E2288 was kind of considered like the best single core performance gaming server when I got everything set up 2 years ago. Um, yeah, it's in a rack in a data center. It's not like I'm not just hosting this server in my living room. Although in some ways that would be appealing. Could save a lot of money on rack mount fees, but you don't have as much. You don't have all the internet failovers. Then people have the IP address of my home internet, and all sorts of problems there. Okay, so we are back here at the Earth Kingdom. Let's load in some chunks and see what progress has been made here. You see, as the cache chunks are swapped out for the live ones. Okay, so it looks like this was not a teacup. I was wrong about that. It's some sort of it's a mystery. I don't know. I can't tell what it is. I think my biome guess here was correct. Oh, my egg cup guess was also incorrect. So teacup and egg cup. Both my cup guesses were wrong. And then this one over here, it looks like they were not spelling numbers. They're building redstone. What kind of hat is that? Or is that a skin? Huh. Interesting. Stellar spider skin. Interesting. Oh, apparently people have been typing. Once I come back to the Earth Kingdom, you will explain what hard mode consists of. Fifth Alice, would you like to explain what hard mode consists of?
Yeah, so each participant could join a hard mode, hardcore mode. It's totally opt-in. And of course, there's a prize for everyone. Basically, in the lake right there, there's a friend. And then that friend gives mining fatigue. So the hard mode consists on doing the entire parade float without being able to erase your mistake.
Oh,
Basically,
wow, that would be quite the challenge. So yeah, but how long does the mining fatigue last after they opt into that? Do they have to keep going
it
back?
it's 5 minutes, but it's like it's on like I mean we trust participants to to go back and get the mining fatigue back, or to just like it's on a trust thing. Like Minecraft is a lot
Mm-hmm.
based on trust for many games.
Very true. Very true. Well, very cool. Thank you, Fifth Alice. Mima Swites says, "How many active players do you have on this server?" I don't know how you define active players. Like, there's 7 people online right now besides me, but like, there's dozens of people on the whitelist. I don't have any sort of analytics package that tracks how often they log in or anything though. Um, but yeah, that's not a very good answer to your question, but there's usually a few people online any time of day when I look at it in my server list in Minecraft. Uh, Mahi says it's usually 2 to 5 people at a time, but it does peak at certain times. Yeah, sometimes when we're doing events, we get 20, but like I said, it's a beautiful spring day for most of the United States right now, so I don't blame people. Uh, Unlike for like our Groundhog Day or October stuff, when everybody's like, "It's cold, it's wet, we're gonna all go build stuff." It's Mima says 7 unique players a day is decent. Oh, it's definitely more than that. That yeah, a lot of people are in different time zones, so you have different people making up that 2 to 5 players at a time over the course of the day. So let's see here. We have 36 minutes remain as of right now. Boom. Completely nailed that. Yeah, now that we're talking about server upgrades, I actually am curious if there's a spiritual successor to the Xeon 2288, the E2288. Spirit successor. Um, it's been superseded by the E2388 as of June 2022, it looks like. What is that like? Ooh, 8 cores, 5.1 gigahertz. Yeah, that sounds pretty nice. Um, can you actually get them anywhere though? Let's let's see. I'm gonna see if the current host that we have is offering anything like that. Um, Looks like OVH is limiting their gaming servers now to either a Ryzen 5 or a Ryzen 7. 5600X or 5800X. That's not really what I'm looking for. Let's go to Bare Metal Cloud and see. View advanced servers. Ooh, 2386G. No, that's not what we want. Okay. Okay, one CPU. Uh, ba, 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 ba. Yeah, single core performance just doesn't seem to be a priority for most hosts. Which in the long term, I should probably be looking at buying my own hardware and racking it somewhere here in Nashville, so I could actually drive over to the data center if there's a problem. But it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so we got some more building occurring here. Woo, people are building and flying around. And I'm close enough to that. Things like the shulkers are starting to load in. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I think that's probably a good angle where we can see progress on all the floats as well as showcase the Earth Kingdom build itself. There, awesome. Okay. So yeah, if I wanted to buy a 2388G chip on its own, the refurbished chip by itself is $1,200. Jeez. Wait, that one's only at 3.2 gigahertz. That doesn't. Why did that other thing say it was running at 5? Okay. Wait. Intel's page itself says it runs at 5. Formerly known as Rocket Lake, 14 nanometer. Lithography recommended price 606. But if they're selling for 1,200, that means Intel didn't actually make enough of them, probably. Intel Xeon E processors. Looks like they haven't launched any E processors since 2021 quarter 3. Before that it was 19. Before that it was 18. Okay, so yeah. Womp womp. Okay. Do 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 do. Hey, Mini Cheese Mouse. Yeah, I did have fun playing the No Man's Sky stream. Thank you. Does anybody here have experience running the Ryzen 7 in data centers? Is that feels like I wouldn't normally consider, like maybe I'm just old-fashioned, but I wouldn't consider running consumer hardware in a data center. NJ Coffee Junkie, welcome. Welcome, Emerald Storm. Glad you could join us. We are here on our Earth Day build contest with the Earth Kingdom. Folks still have 30 minutes in 5 seconds. 30 minutes remain right now. Boom, nailed it. Okay. Making sure I'm not missing any messages there. I was just looking into hardware upgrades, actually, because in the long term, like I was talking to the people here about how when we got this was the top of the line single performance Xeon CPU, and it looks like Xeon kind of gave up on making Intel stopped making those. they don't care anymore. So I'm looking at what are people doing for these now? And it looks like OVH, for example, is offering Ryzen 5 and Ryzen 7 servers, which I don't really know much about running one of those in a data center. But I get nervous about running consumer hardware in a data center. M says another CPU already. Well, I mean, we got this server hardware set up. I think I set up the server hardware in June of 2020, right? So we're coming up on 3 years. You know, it's time to start looking at that stuff. Mima says the server I play on runs Ryzen 7 in a house, not a data center. It's pretty good. Yeah, the data center thing is what makes me nervous, because like I mean, in theory it should be fine. But wait, the Ryzen 7 that they're offering here, this configuration, the Ryzen 7 5800X, like that, when did that product come out? It looks like that product came out 3 years ago. So OVH isn't necessarily setting up good dedicated servers for gaming. That's going to be okay. So these aren't necessarily any more modern chips than the ones we're running. You know, wait a second. You don't need LWJGL to run the Minecraft server, only to run the Minecraft renderer, right? You might there's some ARM chips now that have really good single core processor performance. I wonder I wonder if it would be worth trying to run a Minecraft server on an ARM machine. Because if you have the ARM Java, like I think everything should just work out of box. Wow. Okay. Okay. I've now my brain is yeah, we could maybe do something interesting here. Okay. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that, but I now have some thoughts that I'm going to want to test. In theory, I could test them on my ARM laptop, but I probably shouldn't do that during this stream. What are the best ways to test Minecraft server performance? I wonder. Emerald Storm writes, who all is competing today? You know what? There's no sign. There's no sign here. How could I know who this person possibly is? It's Mantua Maker. Woo, Mantua Maker. The crowd goes wild. Is there a sign in front of this one? No, there's not. It's impossible to know, but it might be Dottie Matrix. Dottie Matrix competing on this one. Let's see. This one, I don't know if the person building it has done. Nope, they're not. It's Mercurial Void. And then over here, it's Stellar Spider and Kindalis. So we're going to go ahead and slash give at a birch sign slash give at a glow ink, just in case. Well, I don't know what this is yet. Like always, Kindleless is making something. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and swing the camera around here. That's why we preloaded those chunks with the Bobby mod earlier, so we can have those, you know, nice long distance view here as our contestants work on their builds. It's hard to... Can I arrange the beacons so they're not blocking anything? Not exactly. Not quite. Clam Pixie says, that's an admirable tree to the right. Oh, yeah, this umbrella tree. We were admiring that at the very beginning of the stream. I'll bring it back into frame because it is indeed quite admirable. A most excellent tree, indeed. Okay, I need to stay in range of everybody from a render distance standpoint. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Da 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 da. We are getting some. I'm doing some quick research here on ARM64, and it looks like people have done this without any real problems. I'm not sure about the single core performance of these ARM chips, though. Let's go to Geekbench. Geekbench.com. Okay, and bro, where's their benchmark charts? Processor benchmark charts. So if we can find the single core performance for our current processor, which probably the processor, which was 2288, the E2288, not even on here. That's not great. Why is it not on here? Xeon? There are Xeons on this list. Did nobody benchmark the E2288? Oh, well, that's inconvenient at best. Don't love that. Boy. Okay. Yep, nobody has submitted a Geekbench 6 score for it, which is bizarre. But how did it do in the Geekbench 5? Maybe. Are the Geekbench 5 scores still around? Huh. What? What about Geekbench 4? Sorry. Okay. Here it is. So, single core score for Geekbench 4. But the problem is we don't have comparable Geekbench 4 scores for modern things. I don't know how to convert those reasonably. Geekbench 4 processor list. Let's see if we can find. That's the search. Okay. Yeah. Golden Lags Lagcast says the E2288G is a Coffee Lake 8 core, so the i7 9700 should be a good analog. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so that would have had a Geekbench 6 score of 1622, roughly. Yeah, you're right. That is a pretty reasonable analog. Thank you, Golden Lags Lagscast. This is why I'm doing this stuff out loud. Like, it really does help. It does help. Okay. Yeah, so a that would be a Geekbench 6 score of 1622. So, in comparison, the single core performance of a 2023 Mac Mini is 2647. So, racking a Mac Mini here in Nashville would not be that expensive. It's got the gigabit Ethernet, I think, on it. It's got, I mean, everything's solid state, so you don't have any spinning disks to swap out. Yeah, 2647 single core. I mean, that's, what, a 40% in performance boost. I mean, you could technically get something like the Intel Core i9 13900 KS has the highest single core Geekbench 6 score with 3074. So that's only like a 10% improvement, but you're probably going to jump up in price like wild. That's yeah, we might be able. This is... At my old day job, even though all of our external facing servers and our web testing servers were Linux, we did have some Mac Minis running certain server operations for internal use. Um, like, well, I don't want to go into details, but there are certain odd use cases where a small business might want a Mac Mini in a server closet, and you can do a lot with them pretty cheap if you know what you're doing. Have you checked So You Start? Their OVH's mid-range offerings. I have not. What is... Why wouldn't OVH just have those on their... Interesting. Because I was looking at the OVH website for what they were listing, and... Okay. It looks like So You Start is limited to Canada and France for hosting. i770s, they have Intel i7 770Ks. What does the single core performance look like on that? That's 1525. That's worse performance though in Mike than the Xeons that we're currently paying for. Mike says, I've had a So You Start machine for a couple of years. No, yeah, well, I mean, I've been really happy with the 3 years that we've had the... we're renting and running Xeon E2288Gs for our 2 game servers right now. The problem is that all of the offerings that they've got since then in the last 3 years haven't gotten any better single core performance than what we already have, because we were going top of the line then for single core performance, and it's just not been a priority. So what I'm looking at here though is, you know, I could go to a data center in Nashville, rent half a rack, and throw some Mac Minis in there, because single core performance on these new Mac Minis with the M2 chips is really good. And for just hosting Minecraft servers, I could really because right now I'm out a few $100s a month for hosting, and in the long term, I was like, what I really want to start doing is just buying my own hardware and paying for like half a rack or a quarter rack, depending on what I can get locally. Um, so yeah. Because for running Minecraft servers, where all you need is single core performance, if you've got the ARM64 Java, and then like the biggest problem with running Minecraft on the ARM right now is LWJGL support is kind of lacking, but you don't need that if you're only doing the server stuff. Hey, welcome, Katrina. Golden Lagscast says there's a big issue of Geekbench score. How does a Geekbench score translate into running a Minecraft server? I haven't looked into that. The biggest thing with Geekbench score is it measures single core performance. And well, there's two Geekbench scores. There's single core and multi-core. But the single core performance is usually the number one problem throughput wise on a Minecraft server. But also, like the Mac Minis would have integrated pretty fast hard drives and RAM and everything. Like, in terms of, you're not going to have a lot of system bus bottlenecks there. That's one of the nice things about having something so heavily integrated is you don't have a lot of random things where it's like, oh, well, the processor can't access enough of the memory quick enough. It's like, nah, we're just dumping it in it's like a swimming pool. It's just like, it'll just all float around fine. The other thing is, in theory, I can test some of this performance-wise using my existing laptop. Face camera's back to normal. Yeah, for right now, but if you'd like to, tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. And for every dollar that comes in, the camera will rotate 1 degree angular. Just as a reminder to our contestants, we have 10 minutes left. As soon as I hit the minutes remain, as of when I press enter here. 3, 2, 1, enter. Okay. But really, it seems like, with Hermitcraft probably going to run for until early 2024 on the current season, I'm kind of just, this is not like urgent stuff that I'm trying to figure out now. I'm just kind of trying to figure out what do I need to budget now to be ready for early 2024. So hey, GT Buckets, thank you for tipping 1. Whoops. I was going to say it's going to rotate the camera 1 degree, but then I wildly swung the Minecraft camera instead of wildly swinging my face. So here we go. Edit, transform, and add a degree there. Do. I'm slightly lopsided. Woo. But yeah, Incredible Mike says, I have no interest in managing hardware, but it would likely help with costs. It would be drastically cheaper. It would be drastically cheaper for me to just cycle in Mac Minis uh, in a like quarter rack or half rack setup here in town than it would be to, because one of the big problems I'm running into with trying to get the server grade parts, like is it's like, okay, so Xeon technically released a spiritual successor to the 2288 called the 2388, And in theory, the MSRP for it is $600, but you can't find one anywhere. Here's a refurbished one for $1,200. You know, like, yeah, this is a contest for my Patreon patrons. So when we had Mac Minis running as servers in our data closet at one of my old day jobs, this was back before they were even solid state. We had fewer hardware problems with them than with like anything else. Um, Aku says, yeah, the problem with the Xeons is you can't find them unless you buy 500. Yeah. MSRP of $616, minimum order 500. I'm like, argh. So then I'm at the mercy of like a web host who wants to have them. But yeah, like da, 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 da. Yeah. But I've been really impressed with the Apple Silicon like whole system on a chip thing. Um so investing in their hardware long term feels safe. I mean, honestly, like I've got a ton of Apple hardware I'm still using for various things around the house. Like I've got a 5K iMac that I bought from my previous employer for like nothing when they went out of business. But like that thing, we bought it new in like 2015. When did the 5K iMac come out? It wasn't the very first one that they did. There were. It was like the second round of the 5K iMac, but like it was like within like 6 months or something. Yeah. So 2014 was when the first 5K iMac came out. Then the next revision came in 2015. Yeah. So we've got a 2015 iMac in my apartment that my kid uses for school stuff, and like, but what is this? 8 years later, and it runs fine, you know, and like that's still like old enough that it had like spinning disk hard drive and stuff. So switching stuff to lower heat, solid state. Um, oh, and I will say that 5K iMac is also running folding at home like around the clock too. So it's not like, oh yeah, my kid occasionally opens up, you know, Google apps and like does a presentation for school. It's like um this thing is just continuously running at max CPU uh for like years. Um so yeah, the idea of putting a couple Mac minis to start a couple Mac minis in a data center, I feel pretty safe with. I have a kid. Yeah, I've got yeah, like for like the last decade or so. Um Credit Mike says, "Can you get a remote boot recovery tool on a Mac Mini?" I'm not sure. So that wasn't something we had at my previous employer's place because I would just drive over there and turn it on myself if we had some sort of problem where the power went out long enough that the UPS died. But like, you know, if you have it on a UPS, you don't you're kind of just fine, you know what I mean? For 99% of scenarios. And so like I'm talking about like actually just like it I would put it at a data center within walking distance. Like there are places in Nashville that host servers for local businesses, right? So I could jog over there in a pinch, type of thing. But yeah, getting something like set up more formally would probably be wise for like if I was out of state at a convention when something went wrong. But I could also like whitelist my sister as somebody who would have like access to the cabinet and then say, "Hey, go over there, do this while you're on the phone with me. You know, I'll pay you what I would pay you for a musical gig." So it wouldn't be cheap, but like I don't know. Yeah, there's always when you're operating at the scale I do, there's always this thing where it's like there's a right way to do this if you're an enterprise business, and then there's also it probably won't come up, but who knows at this scale. Um, cuz like yeah. But like I mean if the data center lost power for long enough that our UPSs also failed, like I feel like that's going to be one of those bigger emergencies anyway too, where um you know it's kind of like something has gone so wrong here that even if I had the remote boot set up exactly the way you should, like there'd be some other damage to route around. Anyway, we got 2 minutes. Whoops. Well, 1 min 45 seconds as of now. Dang it. Did it not send? Yeah, it did. Okay, cool. Golden Lagscast says, I assume you were getting the Xeons for the ECC memory support. Yeah, that was a big part of the thought process in the past. Which, yeah, I know technically the ARM stuff doesn't really have I don't think that I don't think Apple's. So the thing is with Apple Silicon, you're not using your own RAM anyway. You're using the RAM on the chip. But like I actually have never looked up. Does it? No, the main memory definitely is not ECC. But um, people have done teardowns. It doesn't look like it. Molter says, Joe, why not AMD? Because they don't seem to have anything that I want. They're not out competing the 2288s that were already running from Intel. At least not at the server, like at the least dedicated server scale. Like the OVH AMD offerings are not an upgrade to what we have now. They're equivalent to what we have now. Whereas the Apple Silicon would be an actual upgrade by like 40% performance increase type of thing. And we are at time. So I'm going to say time up. Okay. So we are going to swing by here. Hopefully everybody has had time to label their thing. Mantua Maker, happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day.
So I see that the name of your float is Earth Day in quotations. You want to tell us about your float?
Sure, I did a stack of every kind of ground cover
Ooh.
In Minecraft. So that's the principles. So you've got mud and moss and dirt and grass and coarse dirt and sand and gravel and yeah,
Very,
mycelium and yep.
very, very cool. So Earth Day in the sense of the Earth Kingdom, the dirt, not the planet.
Yep.
Very, very cool. I like it. Thank you, Mantua Maker, for sharing. And let's see what we got over here. You're getting warmer. By Dottie Matrix. Where you at, Dottie?
Hi, Joe. I'm actually on top of the float right now trying to collect Stellar's stuff. She died right here.
Oh, okay. Well, stellar job all around. Can you tell us what we are looking at here?
Well, I wanted to try building a balloon.
Uh-huh.
So this is our little Earth friend who is marching ever forward blindfolded and, as the sign says, getting warmer. That's it. That's the joke.
Oh, I was wondering. I was like, it's on the cloud cover. It looks like a Geordie LaForge visor. I wonder what that means, but it's a blindfold.
Yep, that's right.
Oh. I'm actually you know, I'm not going to say, hey, Tommy, this is how you do a visual pun because Tommy's not here. But next time I see Tommy, I will say that because, yeah, you are really upping the game server wide with you know, have you ever seen the show One Punch Man?
I haven't, but it's on my list.
Well, the theme song opens with somebody yelling "One Punch," and then just it's an absolutely brutal knockout kill. And this is one pun, and you just absolutely nailed it. Um, wow, absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much, Dottie Matrix.
Thank you, Joe.
Over here we've got Void Trees. Void, are you with us in the voice call?
Yes, hello.
Hello, Void. Can you tell us what we're looking at with your float here?
Well, it's trees. The big one also has a earth in it. This one is not really trees, the last one. It's more water and I mean water corals, but like water trees.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea was basically that I like trees and I need to get better at making trees, so I thought that fits the theme.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So this tree here is, I'm assuming this is a planet of some kind up in here? What was your thought process there?
Yeah, that's the earth.
Ah, the Earth. Okay. Very, very on topic for Earth Day.
It was a bit weird to make the tree around it, but it worked out.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. And so the Earth tree is towing the other trees. Is there any symbolism there or something?
Not that I have thought of, but I mean, you can read into it. It's
That's fair. That's fair. I was just like, maybe there's something really obvious here I'm missing.
yeah.
But
I
okay,
mean,
if there's not,
maybe I'm missing something. Who knows?
yeah, we'll leave that as an exercise to the audience. Okay. So thank you very much, Mercurial Void, for trees. Oh, I'm hitting the leaves or the clouds or whatever. Then we're gonna come over here to where Kindleless as Dirt Cart. Weren't there two names on this sign before? Did you lose somebody, Kindleless? I cannot hear you, Kindleless.
No, sorry, Joe. No, this is my build.
Okay,
It's a
you're.
solo project.
Give me a second. I'm going to turn you up in the voice chat here because you're a little low compared to everybody else.
How do I sound now?
Okay, try again real quick.
How do I sound now?
Okay, that's great. That's great. Okay.
So this was a solo project, and I built a bone meal farm.
Mm-hmm.
Because in Minecraft, that's pretty much the most important resource we have that needs to be renewable.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with Earth Day, having renewable resources is really important. So I decided to combine those ideas.
Okay, so is there a live demonstration of the bone meal farm, or is it just?
It's running right now.
It is. How do I tell if it's running? Like, what is it? What is it doing? Could you describe like what I'm seeing
It
here?
is creating stone, which is then turned into moss, which is then fed through composters, and then it slowly gets moved down to the bottom barrels, which are filling up with the bone meal.
Okay, so the lava and the water makes the stone, and then you're bone mealing moss blocks, which spreads the moss.
Yes.
And then the moss blocks go down into composters. Is there a place I can visually perceive that?
It's all inside of the block, so you'd have to go into creative to see it, or not spectator to see it.
Ah, okay. Let me do that real quick because I am curious how you did this. Okay, so there's hoppers that are feeding into the composters, and those are feeding back into the dispensers. So is there a net gain on the bone meal here? Do you end up with more bone meal than you started?
Yes, you get more than you started. So it's been running for about 15 minutes now. And what's in the 2 barrels at the bottom is how much is generated.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So about 7 stacks. Wow. Okay, that's pretty impressive. it would not have occurred to me to use the fact that you could create infinite stone to make... Wait, how is it you get smooth stone instead of cobblestone when you mix water and lava? I thought
The lava is falling onto the water, so the water turns into stone.
Okay, but if you have lava next to water, it turns into cobble?
Yes, if water hits flowing lava, it turns to cobble.
Okay. But the lava falling onto the water makes the stone. That's so neat. Somebody says, is FireTick game rule off on the server? Off, right? Because if FireTick was on, wouldn't that burn some of this?
This will burn.
What?
Moss doesn't burn.
No? Okay, so you could actually build this on... Because, yeah, I guess the bamboo's waterlogged, so that won't burn. The honey won't burn. So you could build this regardless of FireTick.
Yes, it's purely vanilla.
Purely vanilla. Okay. I like the attention to detail as well with the wheels here. And the kind of claws holding the block. The copper claws holding the block. And you've got the redstone on display. That's very cool. Very cool all around. So, thank you very much, Kindless. Is there anything else to this that I've missed?
It's supposed to represent a block of dirt. That's about it.
Oh, I thought it was supposed to represent a grass block, but okay.
Oh yeah, grass, I guess.
No, it's fine. Yeah, okay. No, that was fairly self-evident. So yeah, I didn't comment on that, but I did pick up on it. Okay. So, I think that I'm going to need to take a second and zoom out here. We only have 4 contestants this week. There's nobody that like set up way at the end that I've missed this whole time. Because that's the part of the Mardi Gras one down there. Normally, I would have to go through my notes because we usually have like 6 or 7 contestants, but I think that I'm going to be able to do this one. You know what? I'm going to put on a song and I'm just going to sit and look at him for a minute. I'm going to sit and look at him for a minute. Let me pull up my audio here. Do we have any Earth-themed music? Anything environmental? I don't know if we do. My Destiny's in Tennessee isn't really environmental. What's Left of Sam McGee is 8.5 minutes long. We're not doing that. Let's go ahead and just put on Binge Watch Rap. That's 3 minutes. That'll give me a time to think. Be right back.
With a green glass screen, placing blocks per hand, it's the hills extreme. Have you ever seen a yo's expand? Grown and shown up with your demands, yeah. Everybody subscribe, Sean Hills is here to promote his bro live. Placing blocks all over the place, all powered by a vegan with jump boosts and haste. Brother, I'll watch him let's play. Excavate with Joe, all the views I'll say it. Binge watch, hermit, craft. Binge watch, hermit, craft. Binge watch, hermit, craft. Joe. Go binge watch, Joe. Go binge watch, Joe. Go binge watch, Joe. Go binge watch, Joe. Stream it. Fill in your gaps, check live feeds and load up Permacraft. Watch it on any size screen. Back it up to clone redstone machines just building. With dry concrete powder, wetting it down for a much smoother towel. Cause on this tube there's only one server. The whitelist is closed, so don't inquire further. Neighboring players compete on their stores. Permacrafters you love with improv rapport, you just binge watch, hermit, craft. Binge watch, hermit, craft. Binge watch, hermit, craft. Joe. Go binge watch, Joe. Go binge watch, Joe. Go binge watch, Joe. Go binge watch, Joe. Viewers, you better click subscribe because today we're building that hype. Comment, your praises don't fail. Sean Hill's on a roll with Hermitcraft details. Singing out loud the way it should be sung with the natural sound that you like for fun. You know it's live now like a Hermitcrafter. Read the description, tweet about it after. The hour of the Hermit is nigh. churning out videos y'all will like. Binge watch, hermit, craft. Binge watch, hermit, craft. Binge watch, hermit, craft. Yo, 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 yo. Go binge watch, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Binge watch, hermit, craft. Binge watch, hermit, craft. Binge watch, hermit, craft. Yo, 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 yo. Go binge watch, yo. Go binge watch, yo. Go binge watch, yo. Go binge watch, yo. Yo, 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 yo.
All right, folks, we have concluded our judging, and I say we, it's me today. It's me. We're gonna go into creative mode here so that we can actually award prizes. Traditionally, we have been just let's see. I need to slash. Well, whatever. We can slash give prizes to people as we go. I've got to say, this was a real challenge to judge. In terms of third place, we had two really, really close entrants here. But I think at the end of the day, I'm going to have to give it to Mercurial Void. There's just something compelling about imagining kind of the light filtering through the branches and then through the glass earth here as it comes down the street. I always like to kind of visualize what these things would look like in the distance, like seeing them come toward you at an actual parade. And yeah, this is such an interesting concept, putting the earth inside the branches. So we're gonna go ahead and slash give Mercurial Void netherite is it called netherite block? Yeah, netherite block 16. And there was a command for giving people those invisible lights. People seem to like those lights. So we're going to give Void Minecraft, what is it called? Light. Not light blue carpet. Lightning rod. What are those invisible lights called? Minecraft light. Oh, it's just light. 16 invisible lights to Mercurial Void as well. Congratulations, Mercurial Void, on this fantastic build. Second place, Kindless. I do have a little bit of criticism. I know you can take it. But and honestly, even if you implemented it, it wouldn't have knocked you into first. But I'm really looking at this, and I think from a parade standpoint, if you had dispensers throwing the bone meal out to the crowd, like the surplus bone meal, as it goes down the street, that would be kind of a little bit more fun. But I mean, that's the only nitpick I have, other than maybe some of the moss blocks should have gone a little bit lower into the dirt here. Like, this is stupidly good. This is just, I really like the framing for the grass block. I like you got the big wheels. It just really, it's the sort of thing that, like, showing, hey, we've got this renewable technology. Like, it seems like when I go to Earth Day events around town here, there's always tents full of people showing off new renewable technology. Here's how we're making packing peanuts out of not foam. We're using mushrooms to insulate houses now, that sort of thing. So it does definitely feel evocative of a lot of Earth Day events I've been to. But yeah, just spraying bone meal out the sides would have been a little bit funnier. Not necessary. You still got second, and so we're going to slash give 32 lights to Kindless, as well as 32 netherite blocks. And first place, with an absolute top-tier pun, like I said, once Dottie Matrix delivered her pun. This one was locked in. Everybody else was competing for second. Visually, there's a great three-dimensionality to it. The folks with the matching clothes pulling it along, walking underneath it. It feels like a fun, big inflatable, but you didn't stop there. You really tied it all together. And so I think that we are going to hopefully all agree that Dottie here deserves 64 netherite blocks, because I don't write down what the prizes are I give each time, but that sounds like about what I would normally give, as well as 64 lights. Once again, you are not obliged to hold on to these. You can redistribute them on the server, trade them, barter them, screw up the economy however you would like. The chat are all absolutely going nuts about these amazing builds. Mantua Maker, seriously, this was a great entry. I really, the 3.5 minutes I spent judging this, like I said, I knew Dottie had first. But yeah, you, Kindleless, and Mercurial all put in great entries as well. The chat is saying things like, Dottie's looks like a legitimate video game sprite. It's so good. Yeah, there's so much talent on display here. So thank y'all again so much for competing. Yeah. No, I love that Mantua's entry fits the Earth Kingdom theme. Yeah. No, like I said, this was not an easy call. In fact, this is exactly why I like having other people here to be the judges, so then I don't have to make decisions like that. But that's not where we are today. So let's see what is going on out there in the broader world of Twitch television. You know, it looks like our good pal Zombie Cleo finally got her computer fixed and is playing a game that I'm not really familiar with. The something instant messages, I don't know. 4? I used AOL Instant Messenger back in the day, and so, you know, it's got kind of a retro look to it. Hopefully she's having a good time over there, and you give this new concept game a chance. Thank y'all so much for joining me for this build contest. Thank you again to Fifth Alice and Bear for building such a beautiful, well-landscaped, well-terraformed, well-architected, just absolutely gorgeous backdrop setting for this event. And Magenta Avocado. Yes, yes, yes. I am so happy that we get to showcase the cool stuff that folks do on the server here like this. Anyway, I'm going to send y'all over to Zombie Cleo. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Do-do-do.